I think that's your mic. Say something.
Hello?
Right,
Yeah,
that one is
that's
yours.
me.
Okay.
That's me.
Got you sitting at a different place tonight.
Because we've got a guest in the studio.
Yeah. He's hidden right now.
Breaking news.
Hiding in the corner. Live from the Ron Miller Race Cars Hammer Down Racing Report studio, it is the Hammer Down Racing Report. Coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I did get an update. We are number 237 in our category on Apple Podcasts in Australia. So your Australian buddies are definitely stepping it up.
All right.
No indications of how we're doing in India.
Well, the problem is that it's, depending on where you're at, excuse me, where you're at in Australia, it's either 7 o'clock in the morning, or if you're on the East Coast, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So,
well, this was Apple Podcasts, so this is not live.
Oh, the podcast, okay.
Yeah, this was Apple Podcast data. Coming up on the show tonight, we're going to speak with Jimmy McCune, who, for some reason, is going to go back to the dirt this weekend. Five-time must-see Sprint Car Series champion. We also have the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman, and another special guest may pop in on the phone at some point.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. Be interesting. That person
is
that person could or could not be a track promoter at a certain track, and that person is busy tonight working on said track. If it is a track promoter, so. Depending on how far they get.
You think that track promoter is out watering the track right now?
Probably.
Ooh.
Or sweating. Or I guess it's not too bad out today compared to how it has been.
A little sticky, but it's not as bad.
All right. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs. Action shots, victory lane shots, they have it all. They have your favorite drivers. They have not so favorite drivers. They get old photos as well from
the Stone Ages.
The Stone Age, yes. From when they used to print things out old school, like in a dark room and use chemicals and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if they're that old.
They've got pictures of when I ran the 00 car. That was...
I don't know when that was. So.
Oh, boy.
That means nothing to me.
That was a long, long time ago. You were still in kindergarten.
Probably. I was playing with my Matchbox cars. Freeze frame.
How old were you in 85 or 86, Scott?
I was old enough to know better. Let's just say that.
Okay. Old enough to know better?
Yeah, I was.
Too young to resist?
Junior high, maybe? Junior high?
Okay.
Yeah, probably junior high.
All right.
That's when we lived out in Bryan. I think we were going to Bryan Motor Speedway back in the 80s.
Fun times.
Yeah. You messed me up here in the freeze frame. Give Charlie a call. Freeze frame photos, 419-476-9978. They have customized all kinds of driver knick-knack things you can put pictures on, including those cool metal license plates now they have available. So if you're a racer or you have a racer in your family and you want a gift, a cool gift, that might be...
Get a hold of Charlie.
Yeah, freeze frame photos online. Search for that username on Facebook. You can see some of the stuff they do. Also have to thank Big D's Pizza, Subs, Ribs, Chicken, and more in Clyde, Ohio. Give them a call right now, 419-547-1444, or order online at orderbigdspizza.com. You could probably have pizza by the time we're done with the show tonight.
Not here.
Not in Sylvania, Ohio, no. But
if you're
Clyde and surrounding area,
right.
There you go.
Maybe Eastern Fremont.
There you go. Or if you're in the Clyde area, head on out there. It's worth it. John Young, he goes out there all the time. I was talking to Dean the other day. He was saying, yeah, John, he wins a lot, but he also comes out and, it works. He likes the pizza.
But he only shares occasionally. That's the bad part.
That's true. Yeah. 419-547-1444. That is Big D's over in Clyde. And also check out Dominator Race Products. They have the new Outlaw nose kits, vented metal wheel covers. It's all available at DominatorRaceProducts.com. They also have body components for late models, modified sprint cars, street stocks, and much more. Give them a call, 419-923-6970. Also, their parts available at reputable and not reputable dealers across the USA. I'm only including Ron Miller race cars and the non-reputable because you don't want to be reputable for some reason. I don't know.
Because I refuse to work on your race car?
Probably, yeah, maybe. Also, thanks to Oakshade Raceway, Headhunters, Barber Studio, and Salon. I think that's everybody. think everybody's covered. So let's bring in our guest this week, Jimmy McCune.
Push that one.
This one right here?
That one.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to this one. So Jimmy McCune, again, 5-time Must-See Sprint Series champion. And I guess you've had experience on the dirt before, right?
Yeah, but it's been a long time. A really long time.
How long?
Yeah, so how long ago has it been since you've raced on dirt? And what did you run on dirt?
Last time I think I was on dirt was a midget. So that was probably late 90s, early 2000. Wing sprint car I was 16, 17 years old. So we're going back, tell my age here, but yeah, about 30 years.
Was that one of your grandfather's old cars?
No, but the car was older than me. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be like probably the nicest sprint car I've ever got to run as far as, dirt. So, and it's a bar car, we did it with 4 coils and nobody was really trying to do that. It was a car owned by Dwight Riedling. It was out of Toledo here. And my grandfather actually drove for him way back in the day in the 50s. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's going to be nerve-wracking. First hot lap session should be a doozy, but hey.
So is this a new car then?
No, it's new to me. It's just J&J. My buddy Doug Stoss from Findlay owns it. He had a guy running Nick Doherty for a while, and they decided they weren't going to run this year. And we had talked about it in the past that he didn't know if they were going to do something this year or not. And the opportunity finally came to light, and here we are.
So what's this? I hear that you sat in your grandfather's car a couple of weeks ago in the museum at Fremont.
Yeah,
hoping to get a little bit of that DNA, maybe.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, he had a lot of success there at Fremont.
He was king there for a while.
Yeah, so we were there for the All-Star race last Sunday, I think it was. And,
right.
Pops was like, I don't think I got a photo of you getting in this car, so I jumped in it, and the guys running the museum were like, "Oh, we don't like anybody in there," and
excuse me, I'm not just anybody.
Dad's like, I don't think the owner's going to mind too much. And the guy's like looking at him kind of funny. He's like, "Well, I own it," So he's like, "Oh, crap! All right, yeah.
Okay."
So yeah, we took a little photo and just went back out and watched some sprint car racing, and decided that let's go to Fremont after. I talked to a bunch of guys there, especially I've got a lot of friends there, so. A lot of guys that I grew up with, just never got to race with them. And every time I always go there over the last 10 years, I show up once or twice, maybe every couple of years. And, it's always, when do you go on dirt race? When do you go on dirt race? And well, now it was.
Here it is.
In a couple of weeks. And they look at you kind of funny, like, are you serious this time? So here we are.
So just Fremont then you're going to be running at?
For now. I mean, I've got commitments with the asphalt side, so we got to do.
So you're not giving up the asphalt deal?
No. Okay. We got to race in Rockford next week. So I was up at 5:30 this morning, and out working on the asphalt car this morning, and dirt last night, and went to work, and just kind of trying to balance everything to make it all happen. So this is just to one, get more seat time because we haven't been racing a lot. Run I think 11 races over the last 2 years from 20 and 21. So, I just want to get some, more racing. I'm racing with the kids with the go-karts and stuff, and they're having a blast, but they get to race more than I do. So,
is that just because of the light schedule that?
With COVID in 20, it was just everything shut down. There was a little bit of racing. Some dirt stuff finally opened up during 20. 21, it just we're a special show, so the promoters got to make the money. So it was hard to get dates, and this year's back to more normal. I think we had 12 dates, but. At the end of the day, you got about 6 weekends because we run a lot of double races, and this opportunity came about, and it sparked my interest, and it's just another challenge to see if we can adapt to it and learn something, and maybe have some success at it.
Jimmy, any thoughts that that Kyle Larson guy switching back and forth? Maybe if you follow that, it'll hone your pavement skills a little more. He seems to be able to do darn near anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, probably one of the best I've ever seen. What he can do. I mean, sprint car, late model, asphalt, anything. He's just fast and he wins.
Obviously, it doesn't hurt him.
No. I think it'll help the asphalt side of what we're doing. I don't think anything's going to hurt.
Right.
You can use a looser setup then, right?
Maybe.
Wear the tires up.
Yeah, with the asphalt car, we're always looking for grip, but we've always got a ton of grip. So. When we run a dished wing, there's just more advantage to the asphalt, and we carry a lot more speed through the corners than what the dirt stuff does. So, at the end of the day, some of the things coincide, but some of them don't. So we'll just kind of, base it by this. And I've had a lot of friends help me with some setups. I know a lot of shock guys. I mean, we've got a guy from Penske that's been there for 40 years. He's on our team. So he's been with us about 5 or 6 years now, maybe. And, I've got that Jeremy McCune that lent us that truck that we're going to talk about here in a little while. He's run J&J's his whole life for 20-some years, so he was more than willing to help me out with some setup stuff. A couple of guys out of Fremont, Brian Smith, he's been helping me a little bit. So there's been
and Brian's
a number of guys.
Truly great guy.
He's awesome. Yeah. So
have you raced him with his Matchbox car track?
Nothing at all.
Hot Wheels cars, whatever. No.
He's got his Hot Wheel cars or a Hot Wheel track in his hauler
really?
that he.
Yeah, I have seen some photos of that.
Yeah, he invites the kids. Invites kids, and if they beat him on his track, he'll give them a Matchbox car. And
there you go.
I think he does that even if he loses.
Maybe.
So originally, I believe you had said you did not, or you prefer asphalt racing to dirt because you don't like having to power wash the car the day after.
Sometimes, I mean, the first time I had to power wash my car was from 2 weeks ago when we went up at Birch Run Speedway. We picked up an oil leak right about the last lap of the heat race, and we didn't have a whole lot of turnaround time, and we were the first feature, so we tried to address it and make that happen, and put some diapers on it and went out for the race. And I
heard your vision wasn't very good.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I was still wiping oil out of that thing this morning. Out of my helmet anyway. But yeah, we had to power wash that car, and I had to wash it 2 or 3 times just to get so much oil off of it. But it was a mess. I mean, I don't exactly know how much we lost, but it was so bad the last 2 laps I couldn't see a darn thing, and there was so much smoke coming up through the cockpit.
And you still won.
Yeah, so but the asphalt's been really good to us. We've always been fast up at Birch Run, so we've had some success there, winged and non-wing. So
you got the leak fixed then for the
yes, yeah, that's what I was working on again this morning. I was putting the injection back together and getting it back on the car, and we made some adjustments with valve covers and venting and stuff, so we should have that sorted for next week. Okay,
so we mentioned you do have that dirt racing experience, 30-some years. How much success did you have on the dirt back then?
Not much, no. Well, I mean, we ran strong. I mean, the biggest thing that we had a problem with is the car was 4 coils. We didn't have a bar car, and the car was old, but it was new. It was an old Litton chassis that had been hanging in a barn for its whole life. Litton? Yeah, it was one of them cars.
I used to work with him.
So, and Dwight brought out a Resurrection and finished it, and then we went and raced it. But nobody was doing that at the time. I think maybe Sammy or something like that. But we didn't have anything to go back on. The shocks were just whatever, So when the track was wet and heavy, we was fast. When it slicked off, you just couldn't do anything. He put a couple different drivers in it besides me, just trying to find out if it was me. And finally, he canned the car and bought a Maxim, and I got fired. So he finally bought a real race car, and I got fired. But we ran midgets after that for quite a few years on and off. Followed the USAC tour for a year or two, and we did well. We never really ran up front. We never won any races. I won a B main. I think that's my USAC B main. I think that's my claim to fame there as far as the dirt was concerned. But it's just a new challenge. So it's something I haven't got to do a lot of. When I was young, I did. So now we're at this point in my career, and let's try it.
And this is a full 410 sprint car on dirt
that
you're going to be running this weekend. So you're going to be running with some pretty very competitive drivers, I should say.
Extremely. Yeah.
Any nerves, any anxiety? Or are you totally relaxed?
Different points I've had nerves. Watching videos, watching in car, just watching stuff going at the track. We were at Butler a couple weeks ago. Well, the same time we were at Butler on Saturday, and we went to the All-Star race at Fremont on Sunday, and we were just trying to figure out, where do we want to go? I just want to kind of go in low key and just kind of do some racing and, figure out just what I wanted to do. And I looked at Butler, and I just wasn't comfortable with what I'd seen there, and I was just like, well, let's go check out Fremont tomorrow, because I was trying to, hustle a couple of tires and see if I could find anything to help the program out and get rolling, and that didn't work out for us, but I felt way more comfortable there. I talked to a bunch of different teams and drivers and stuff, and it just made me feel extremely comfortable.
They welcome you?
Yeah. I already had half a dozen people say, whatever you need, come down and see us. If you need something, we're here, whatever. So.
And any thoughts of racing under an alias so that you don't embarrass the McCune name straight out of the box?
Absolutely not. However, it's got a 14 on it right now. I said, but my buddy Gary Harrell's making me some 88s tomorrow. So when we go to the track on Saturday, it'll have 88 on it.
For
so
everybody will know.
Yep.
So we'll have the.
I'm not worried. I mean, I already know I'm gonna.
So what is your expectations? I mean,
make the show.
Okay.
Make the show. Finish.
So you'd be happy if you make the show and finish.
If I make the show and I can finish all 30 laps or 25, whatever they run, I don't even know what they run. But if I can finish the damn race, not spin it out, and not look like a complete buffoon, I'm happy. I'll get out of that car with a smile on my face and I'll laugh my ass off. But I looked like an idiot, didn't I? So I'm just not going to get laps. That's the biggest thing. It's not like an asphalt deal where we can just go, on an open practice night and go make some laps and have a good time. But and try things. We don't get that option. My buddy in South Africa is talking to me. He's like, "Oh, are you going to go run laps? You going to do this?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to get those 3 or 4 laps before qualifying." He's like, "Wait, what?" That's all you get, man.
Yeah, they call that warming the engine.
Right. So yeah.
Awesome. So this isn't just a one-off kind of thing that you get back in the dirt sprint car a few more times.
I'm hoping to get out 4, 5, 6 times this year. Between my schedule and other commitments that I have, family-wise, I've got a couple weekends in July and I got a couple weekends in August. And I want to. Those weekends, I think I can do some back-to-back stuff. One weekend to another. So right now I'm going to get in it and I won't be back for a few weeks. So it kind of but it is what it is. You got commitments. So
and
like
just
I said,
just
this
Fremont?
is for now.
Okay.
I think that's it's a good starting spot. Let's just go there. I mean, it's one of the toughest places you can go run a Saturday night sprint car race anyway. So, if I'm going to learn anything, you're going to learn it there. And it's one of the hardest tracks to get a hold of. So let's just go there and have some fun, try to make the show. And, I talked to Brian and he said, after the speed weeks, he said it's hard to get a lot of cars there anyway. So, I'm hoping they got enough just to make the show and I'll be able to not have to worry about making the show.
There you go.
And, we can just go out and, have a good time and stay out of trouble.
I hear Waynesfield's pretty popular among sprint car drivers. They really enjoy that place.
I watched some video of it through Speed Week, but I don't know if they have a Saturday night program or what with the wing cars. I'm not familiar with a lot of the tracks enough to know who's running what on Saturday nights.
You've been in the asphalt world.
Yeah, and my kids run dirt go-kart at Palmyra on Fridays, so that kind of takes out any kind of Friday stuff for Attica.
So no Attica.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it just makes it difficult. But I made that commitment to them, and they're having a blast. So,
speaking of the asphalt world, our friend Doug Frost says he sure does miss those cars at Toledo.
Yeah, we all do. That's just a shame that we haven't been back there. So, I don't think we ever will. But that's just my opinion.
And that was.
Didn't we talk to Scott about that?
That was always a great show.
What was the reason they weren't?
Scott, I don't remember.
I thought we asked him, but yeah, I don't remember the reason.
Speed.
Was that what it was?
They were just afraid of hurting somebody. We had some nasty accidents, and we've lost guys there. And I think a couple of the last couple accidents that we had, I think Brian Gerster was one of them, and Kyle, the kid runs Super Modified, he had wrecked one pretty hard there. And, they just said, before something really bad happens, we're done.
I know there are some dwindling numbers with the super modifieds. Two different sanctions and.
Yeah, but that somebody took over the MSSA. I don't remember exactly what they call it now, but they just ran Lorain County last week for 2 nights, and they had a pretty good car count. So.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming back. I mean, for them guys, it's coming back. Our numbers on the asphalt side are, they're up and down. They dwindle at some weeks, and some weeks they're good. So it's just.
Well, and the McCunes have got a half a dozen cars in that field.
We run 2 most of the time. Once in a while,
half a dozen, 2, same.
3.
Once in a while, we run 3. But he's had a back issue for about a year now, so he hasn't been done.
And that's a shame because he was really coming into his own.
Yeah, he was running really strong, and Jacob's running really strong now. He led up at Birch Run where we won. He was leading us, and I just kind of relegated myself to rolling second there for a little while, and hoped that he backed up to me because he was just kind of walked away from me about 10, 12 car lengths, and we just kind of held it there, and he ended up having overheating and a spun out issue. So
I know about Anthony, your nephew. Who's
Jacob's his brother.
Okay,
that's his youngest brother.
Okay,
he's got 2 brothers. One's in the Army, and
when did he start?
He started 2 years ago. He was driving for another guy.
It's been a while since we talked to you.
Yeah, and then he drove one of our cars with another
Another team.
As a different owner, yeah, but one of our cars out of our stable. And then this year we just took everything back into McCune Motorsports, and we're running 2 full-time cars.
So the dirt sprint car, that doesn't fall under the McCune Motorsports umbrella?
I mean, it does. It's sitting right next to my asphalt car.
It's going to have an 88 on it.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it might as well. I mean, Doug sent everything up here. I just picked up the trailer this morning or this afternoon and dumped that off at the house before he came down here. So, yeah, I mean, everything's here. I'm taking care of it all and maintenance, and he come up and help us out and, make sure we got everything done right.
When does it get to be yellow?
I don't really know. I'm not really worried about that. It's kind of good looking itself.
Yeah.
And, we're just throw some 88s on it. Yeah, it's got a new wrap on it, so I'm just going to leave it the way she is.
Nice. Looks like James Miner will still race at Shady Bowl. I know last year was there. Did you race at Shady Bowl?
No, we haven't been back there in about maybe 4 or 5 years. The Must-See Lights, the crate cars ran there. They may run again this year. I don't know, but they've had the last few shows there.
Nice. So what are you most looking forward to getting back on the dirt? I mean, is there one thing?
Racing.
Yeah, I mean, just racing, but in general, I like the challenge. It's the same thing when we did that super modified. There was just, it was a new challenge. I didn't know crap about it. I didn't like it at first. It had a tiny little steering wheel on it, and it was so quick, and there was just so many things that were different about it. You kind of laid down in the car, and the wing would suck your helmet up off the car and off your head.
Really?
You go down straightaway like this, and there was just so many things that you had to adapt to. I put a bigger steering wheel on it. I started, lockdown when we won that race at Toledo. I probably the only person there, and there's probably still not a lot of guys doing it. We had that wing locked down solid. It didn't move. Like in most super modifieds, will lower and raise and do all that stuff, and we didn't. We just locked solid like a sprint car. So I tried to make that thing as most comfortable as I could to what I was used to, and it worked out for us. So. Not to say that's going to happen with the dirt because it's a whole nother animal, but the challenge is what I like the most. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for me and gives me the most drive is to try and figure this out and try to be successful at it.
So your first laps then will be in the dirt car. This dirt car is going to be Saturday during hot laps.
Yep.
At Fremont.
I mean, my first lap might be the warm up when they let us fire the engine and we get to roll around and pull her back in. That'll be my half lap right there. Off of 4 and 2, come on, get that half a lap. But yeah, we raced there, and Dad was reminding me of, I think it was All-Star Show. I can't remember if it was the B main, but I swear I made the A main that night there, and I 360'd that thing coming off of turn 4, and my dad just reminded me about that story, and I 360 coming off of 4, and I kept it going, and I only lost a couple spots, but. He's like, that was All-Star night, and I'm like, it was. I honestly it didn't even come to memory that we even did that race until he mentioned it, and then it brought back all the memories. But yeah.
So Jimmy, 2 kids. What are their aspirations in racing?
They both like to run sprint car, but the biggest thing I got to do with the kids is get them out of their telephones and get them out in the shop and work, and that's a difficult situation, right? Yeah. So I mean, they both want to do it. I think I don't know, kids today they're just a lot different than what we grew up with, so that's, I mean, it's hugely different. So that's the biggest thing is it's a challenge to get them out of the house. And, I mean, we live out in the country, so we've got the 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff, so they can go out and do that kind of stuff. And my son absolutely, craves that dirt bike stuff. I'm just trying to get him into that, I want to learn. He wants to help, but, he's still at that age of, we're trying to get him to get over that leap. And my daughter's at that age of boys, so I'm trying to curtail that back and focus on the race car. So, but yeah, I mean, they both have desires, but we'll just see how much desire they have because it takes a lot of desire and a lot of hard work to do what we do.
Now they're running the dirt at Palmyra, so are their aspirations to keep going on the dirt or to follow in your footsteps on the asphalt?
I don't really know. I think.
Do you care either way? Which way?
I don't care which way. I think me doing this dirt aspect of it is hopefully to learn what it takes to do it and have that knowledge.
You're getting out in front of things.
Well, that and to move them forward because they really enjoy the dirt. So, but we have all the asphalt stuff. So it's like, what do you do? So. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a new challenge. I can learn stuff and pass it on to them. And, if they want to go run a 305 or something like that, or, depends on what we do in the future with the asphalt side.
And I know we kind of touched on this before in one of our conversations we had with you, but what are some of the differences between the asphalt sprint car versus the dirt sprint car?
I mean, when you look at them, yeah, they're the same from a distance, but I mean, they've got the wings, of course, and they got
the one thing I notice is the asphalt ones you sit right down on the ground.
Yeah, we're slammed down the ground. We run all coils. They run bars. Cars, 6 inches off the ground for the dirt car. I mean, it's just so many. I mean, the car's shorter wheelbase, shorter everything. A lot lighter, than the asphalt car. Asphalt cars are pretty heavy. We got to weigh 1,600 pounds with the driver, and I don't know what their weight rule is, but I mean, they've always been a lot lighter. 150, 200 pounds lighter than us. So, but they're the same, but so much different. It's just hard to explain.
No way to convert an asphalt sprint car over to a...
Yeah, me and Dad were giggling the other day. He says, wouldn't it be cool to take that drying out there and, just after one night of racing, and the track laid down rubber and just have it there and just, go out and, race a car up off the ground and throw something at it to see if it would go around the track. And I'm like, doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd try it, but I don't know.
Roddy Schroyer just said that his son RJ would be glad to help with the dirt bike stuff if Jumbo decides to go that way.
I appreciate it, but as of this point, we're just backyard dirt bike kids. We got some trails up north of us. I'm pretty sure he knows where it's at. I've seen them guys go by that area north of me off of Rauch on the north side. I'm sure he knows the trails up there. But the guy that owns the property up there, his kid actually does race, so and I seem to do pretty well, I guess.
So how's the tire situation for with the asphalt deal?
On our side so far, we haven't had any issues, but we were running every other couple weeks. I mean, we're 2-3 weeks.
Do you think that helps to have a
for
little
sure? I mean, we're running
Yeah.
a dozen shows, and they're only feeding. I think the asphalt side. I think the American Racers only feeding us. I mean,
you guys are on a one tire rule with.
We always have been. Almost every racetrack we go to, we're at the same right rear all night, so we don't really have to change a whole lot of stuff. So that makes it nice.
I hear the sprint car tires are pretty expensive. The dirt tires.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. I was quite surprised.
You didn't have any problems getting any tires for?
No. We went down and seen Market Gears, and he had a tire, and here we are.
Your thoughts on the failure issues that some of the sprint car teams have been having?
I don't really have any input on that. I try to stay out of the tire battle.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that there's a problem, but, what do we do? I mean, everybody blames everything on everything else. So, that's the world we're in at the moment. So we got to deal with what we held.
So what the Must-See Racing Sprint Car Series that you're running, is kind of, like you said, COVID messed everything up. I think there was some, I guess there was a competing series or something, and talk about combining them at one point.
Over the last couple of years, there really wasn't too much. I mean, the Auto Value Series had a series. They didn't have a whole lot of wing races. They started converting over to non-wing. And then this year, they had teamed up with Anderson Speedway, which was running the 500 Tour or 500 Series, whatever they call it now. So they picked up about, 8 to 10 non-wing shows. So, yeah, we're competing with them a little bit now because we ran Birch Run last week, and they ran Plymouth, Indiana, and Berlin, Michigan. So
Plymouth, that used to be the dirt track.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, it was asphalt. We used to run there, and then it went to dirt.
Now it's back. Cool. So the current state of the Must-See series is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, we got a good core group of guys, and I think it's going to be fine.
I got another question here from one of our listeners. Ever thought of hopping in a modified asphalt car?
I have.
Okay, so
yes. I've already done it. How's that? I ran Angola for about a half season over there, and I got bored out of my mind.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Just the car or the track or what?
Oh no, I love Angola. Okay. We won a lot of races there. Midget, sprint car, didn't matter. But yeah, I love Angola. But we were running a small motored car. It was mid pack at best, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. It was really slow, and I just didn't enjoy it as much.
Wasn't a sprint car?
No.
Didn't go as fast?
No. It was fun. I did it for a little while. I was like, I'm done. I can't do it.
So next year, is this dirt thing on the side going to continue, do you think? Or is this something you're dabbling?
Let me get through these first 4 or 5 races I'm going to do. I got to get through night one.
Now, if you get, let's put it this way: you get through these first few races, you do better than you expected. I mean, next season, maybe look at doing more dirt, maybe.
If everything goes as planned, and we run these 4 or 5 races and we enjoy it and we're having fun, both the car owner, myself, my dad, the team, then I would say, yeah, I would look at my schedule next year and kind of, balance out, because he doesn't want to run full time. I don't want to run full time. I have not a whole lot of desire to go to, I shouldn't say it. I don't, with my commitments to my kids running Friday night, if I didn't have kids and I could run Friday night and Saturday night at Attica and Fremont and I could get a ride, hell yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
So we probably won't see another McCune track champion at Fremont?
Probably not. I mean, unless my kid decided to go dirt. Yeah. And then we got a Jimmy McCune there. So, or a Morgan McCune. We've got my daughter as well. So, yeah, I mean, there's always that opportunity, but we just got to get to that point, get these races under our belt this season, and both of us want to do the same thing next year, and we'll do it.
Now, you've run a lot of different tracks throughout your career. Is there any tracks that you haven't yet had a chance to run on that you would really like to?
Ooh. Bristol?
No,
North Wilkesboro?
I've done Bristol.
Yeah?
We were scheduled to go to North Wilkesboro on the wing car, but I didn't. I think that place is just a little bit too big and a little bit too fast for what we do. I mean...
Was it 0.6 miles? Something a little bit more than a half mile.
Yeah, it's somewhere right around a 5/8, and it's got some pretty decent banking. I mean, I know we've run IRP, and that's been extremely fast.
Winchester.
And it was fun. Yeah, Winchester we've done. Salem we've done.
Right.
Bristol we've done. I mean, and when we went to Bristol, I was just like, we went and did a tire test down there, and the track managers and the higher ups from the track come down, and they wanted to talk. And what do you think? And I was like, that's all right.
How many second laps were you doing at Bristol?
We were running 13s. Track record's 12.7. So yeah, it was flying.
So you're getting around.
But we were so fast, and the track was so smooth that the car didn't move. It didn't bobble. It was just locked down, so it didn't even feel like you were going fast. I got out of the car and I was like, it was all right. I mean, but when you're...
Did you feel the G-forces in the corner?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you're getting that whole squat you down, push you down in the seat, but at the end of the day, the car's not moving, so you're just kind of like locked down and just kind of rolling. It's not like Winchester or Salem where you're in there and the car's bouncing around and you're kind of having to wheel it. So it was kind of boring, but...
if you get 20 other cars around you...
No, that was fun. That was crazy. I mean, the race was really good. I mean, we didn't have a really strong performance. We had some motor issues, but all in all, I really couldn't come up with one racetrack that I would say, oh my gosh, I would really like to run there. Because, I mean, I've been so fortunate in my career to run a lot of different places, whether it was, big tracks with the stock car, back in the day, or, getting to run some dirt. I ran Eldora and a midget, and that was, I think I did it twice, and one of my own way, way back in the day. But yeah, so I mean, there's been so many places that I've got to run. I just couldn't come up with one that says, God, I want to really run here.
Would you ever run a dirt late model?
Probably. Yeah.
That guy's got one.
Nuh-uh.
He just needs a motor.
Yeah, he doesn't have a motor. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, a race car is a race car, and the way those dirt late models are locked down to the racetrack now, I mean, they just look almost slot car-ish just watching, some of the things that they're doing with them. So
they're sprint cars.
They're definitely different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing would be just getting that, used to that car, just dump it on the right front and, kind of sitting there. So that would be a different feeling. Same thing with this wing sprint car, and going to dirt, we squat the whole rear of the car and it dips on the left rear, but now we're going to go in and it's going to lay over on the left really hard and it's going to turn sideways and
pull the right front.
Yeah. So
there's a lot more suspension travel with
there's a lot more going on in that dirt car than there is in the asphalt car. We carry a ton of speed, but we don't move around like that. So
what about for the setup? Is anybody helping you out with that? Or do you have enough knowledge of working on the dirt for the setup?
Me, knowledge on that side? No. Do I have some basics of what it would take? Of course, but I've also got friends, and like I said, Brian Smith helped us out, and he'd run J&J's for such a long time, and he's like my last car until I updated this year. I think it was this year he updated. He said he ran an 09 J&J, so he's like, go with this. And my buddy Jeremy McCune, which he lent us that truck out west when we broke down. That's all he's run is J&J's his whole life. So we've been on video calls and a lot of text messaging back and forth, and just getting a real good baseline. So when I go in there, we'll just have hopefully a nice little ride, and we can make some adjustments.
Let's talk about that debacle in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And
Do we have to?
And how did you run into a guy named McCune that could help you?
Yeah. First off, where were you headed?
So we were headed out to Idaho for a big paying money race, and they run 360s out there. So we had borrowed a motor and went and did some testing and got all geared up to go run for this race. It was $20,000 to win, big money for an asphalt race. So yeah, let's just go out there. We run strong out here. And we win races. Let's go out there and try this. At least we can say we did it. So we're 20 hours into the ride of damn near 30, I think it was, to get there. And we're out in the middle.
Did you drive straight through, or did you take any?
Nah, we stopped the first night. Okay. And we got somewhere in, I think it was Billings. No, not Billings. That's where Jeremy's from. We were in Rawlings, Wyoming. And we're talking about a one-horse town. There was absolutely nothing. You came down off this hill, and it was like, oh, there's a city out there, and it took us like 20 more minutes to get to it, And that's where the truck started to falter a little bit, and it just started losing power, and now we're going about 30 miles an hour down the highway. And, we had to pull off, and, dirt parking lot, this little Shell station out in the middle of nowhere, and we're still about 8 miles from that city that we thought we could see that was getting close, and we never made it.
And it wasn't your hauler then?
No, it was mine. It was our semi.
Oh, okay.
Everything. Yeah,
Gotcha.
we'd taken our own hauler out there and stuff. So one thing leads to another. We call out a couple companies, and it costs us a fortune to figure out that we've got a bigger problem than just something small, a fuel filter or something stupid, why we lost power. So we ended up having to get it towed. We dropped the trailer. We towed the truck into Rawlings, which was about 8 miles down the highway. Had to leave the trailer out in BFE, overnight. So that was nerve-wracking as hell because we couldn't figure out, it's just right on the side of the highway. This tiny little Shell station. And we're like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? What happens if we wake up and that trailer's just gone, it's disappeared, So the next morning, we conned some guy on a dually where the hotel where we stuck at, we had a Walmart there. So we went and scoped out the Walmart, and we sit in the parking lot until we found a dually with a fifth wheel hookup. And we conned the guy into it for a couple $100 to go up the street and tow our trailer back. And
you were stalking at Walmart.
Oh yeah. So then we
awesome.
talked this guy into doing it, and he's like, "All right, well, I got a load of this and this, and I'm gonna go drop the old lady off, and I'll get the stuff out of the back of my truck, and I'll go pick it up for you." So then we're like, we had the lady's name at the carry out, so we called her, and I'm like, "Is that guy here picking my trailer up?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's here right now." And I'm like, "All right, did he head west?" Yeah, he's heading west. I'm like, all right, because we're right next to the highway again where the hotel is, and we're just eagle eye on the highway waiting for like 20, 30 minutes. This guy had to tow this giant trailer with a dually, but he got it to us, and that worked out. So we were stuck in Rollins for 2 days, and I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if I posted on Facebook that we were broke down, and Jeremy was straight north of us about 10 hours. No, I think it was somewhere around 6 or 8 hours up to Billings, Montana, where we needed to go. And me and one of the guys did a round trip overnight, just him and I, up to the shop and back down from his shop down to the truck and trailer, hooked it up, and jetted across the next morning to Idaho, and made it to get, I think, one hot lap session on that practice night, and went out for the race the next day. So, and our truck got stuck out there for 5 more weeks while they fixed it. And it was some kind of a computer
How did you
issue.
get back home?
So that was a whole nother story. This is a cluster mess.
How'd you do in the race? Was it worth the trip out there?
Absolutely not. No, we ran good. There was rules that we weren't accustomed to, so we had to change a few things, and we had muffler issues because we don't run a whole lot of muffler, and there was just a lot of issues. We had a decent run. We were up to, I don't know, 8th or 10th or something in the main. And they cut it down into 3 segments, and you had to be in the top. It's almost like F1 qualifying. You had to be in the top 15, then you had to be in the top 10, and then you were around for the last ones. And you could change tires, and it was just this crazy little setup that they had. And I don't remember if it was 100 laps or 80 laps or whatever. But I got run over from behind on a restart. And yeah, we lost a front axle and a nose and a wing in the heat race, and then got run over in the race, and then there was a car parked right inside the cockpit with a bumper here, and I couldn't get out of the car, and there was smoke, and I was just like, I'm getting out of this damn car. So I climbed out through the front of the roll cage, down the hood, and slid down and got the hell out of the car because I was like, I'm not sitting in here. I don't like, a bumper sitting right here in my face. I had a sissy bar on the side of the car, and it dented it in, pushed it in about an inch where he hit me. Wow. And, of course, they have a rule. If you get out of your car,
you're done.
You're done. You can't get back in. And, of course, I didn't know it. I don't run with them. So, night over. Done. Hasta luego. Bye-bye.
So how'd you get home then?
So we got back to Rawlings. We have to get back there because that's where the truck is. So we get there and find out, we still don't know what's wrong with it. What are we going to do?
So there was a shop at Rawlings?
Yeah, there was a Cummins dealer there. So, okay. We had a Ford with a Cummins in it. So we get that, and they still don't know what's wrong with it. It ends up spending 5 weeks out there before they figured it out. So in the meantime, we spent 2 more days in Rawlins waiting out someone to come pick us up. So White Hair Racing, there's another team out of Illinois. They had heard what happened in asphalt team, and he's like, I know right where you guys are at. I used to live out in Wyoming. He says, man, you were in a bad spot. You were in a really bad spot. So he got in his truck all by himself, and he's got a big 4-door, like a Kodiak type Freightliner, I think, kind of deal. And he drove out 20 hours, picked us up, spent the night, and I don't know, about 25 hours back to my house, dropped us off, and took off and went home. So...
only in the racing community could that happen, right, though, Jimmy.
Exactly. We had a guy loan us a truck. So, that was another fiasco. I had to have. So we get back to Rollins, and now I got to get the truck back up to Jeremy. So we have to drive the truck up to Jeremy. And now me and the guy that picked it up, we're stuck up in Rollins. So a guy that runs Pavement Pounders on Facebook, he does a Facebook page and a lot of writing and stuff for some magazines. So he's in Boise visiting his mother. He says, because he was out there for the race. He says, I'll pick you guys up in Billings on the way back. So he picks us up in Billings, and we drove a little Prius all the way back to Toledo. And he's from Anderson, Indiana, so he drives us all the way to Toledo and turns around and has to go back to Anderson 3 hours back the other way.
In a Prius.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
3 of us in a Prius, man. It was awesome.
Life is good.
You guys were cool.
Yeah, it was really great.
So is the truck all fine now? Everything's good?
Yeah, it runs really good. Flint Trucking up in Litchfield, Michigan, up by Butler Speedway. They used to have sprint car, asphalt car, and he did a lot of maintenance for it late in the winter for us, and got her all tuned up, and she's running really nice now.
Good. Any plans to make a long trip again like that?
No. Nope. Absolutely not. No. The only way I'll do that is we'll fly out and run. But we actually had a deal set up to do that, and then everything fell through, and we had some motor issues and lost a couple motors. And I had a kid coming from Idaho to run my car, and then he had a second car that they ran out there that was really fast last year, and I was going to get to run it, and that all fell through. So I didn't have a ride for him, and it is what it is. Things happen.
Well, this is in September, right?
Yeah.
So something still could.
Are they having that race this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. They're still having it. It's called the Pink Lady Classic.
Really?
Out in Meridian, Idaho. Yep.
See, this time you know the rules, at least.
I do.
At least some of them.
Yeah. And the car that I would drive is the track owner's son's second car. So, it's a win-win situation if it was to pan out. But at this point, nothing panned out so far. And ever since that trip, nothing really worked out very well. So it was like, we finally turned the corner last week. So it was like, up until that point, it was like, man, we've had nothing but bad juju ever since that weekend.
And even when you won at Birch Run, you had some bad juju.
We still had really bad juju, but we still won. So hopefully we're getting that out of our system.
Right. Well, maybe you'll win Saturday at Fremont.
Why not, Jimmy? And
maybe
Jimmy knows the deal, but we're not going to hold him to that.
Okay.
There's always a maybe. There's always a maybe in racing, but that one is so far out there.
Hey, if you're betting, the odds probably are pretty
10,000 to 1, maybe
something like that. Think of the return on that investment.
Maybe 100,000 to 1. I think I didn't have enough zeros. But
yeah, but think of the return on that investment.
Making the show step one.
We'll tell you that most of our guests go on to win their next race. You know that deal, and it's worked for you a few times.
Well, it'll be a win if he makes the race.
But
according to him,
we'll give him a pass on the dirt race. Just expect him to win on his next pavement race.
Where'd you say your next must-see race?
Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, okay.
Yeah.
And you run well there.
You're going to get the
we
win.
run really well there.
There you go.
So,
I can't guarantee your oil won't leak or some weird thing, but you'll get the win there.
I'm hoping all the work we've done over the last week and a half on it guarantees that stinking thing ain't going to leak.
All right. Well, we definitely thank you for coming in and
Thanks for having us.
some time. We have some news to go over here, some results from last weekend before we wrap things up. Oh, we're going to give away some pizza, too, from Big D's.
Oh, cool.
So stick around for all that. Last weekend, Racing Roundup, Waynesfield Raceway Park was in action with the Rick Ferkel Classic. Do
you want Jimmy to hang around or?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
unless you got to get out of here.
He's got some work to do. It's up to him.
It's
I
up
still
to
got
you.
work to do.
All right.
But I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, then get the hell out of here.
If it wasn't 2 nights before my first dirt race in 30 years, I'd stay.
So it's work on the dirt car you have to do?
I've still got work on that. I still got work on the asphalt car. I just got the trailer up here from Doug this afternoon. I dropped it off when I got home, and then my buddy from South Africa, I was trying to get him to come to this radio show today, and he was busy and he needed some wheels, so I just had so many things going on, I didn't get anything done.
Gotcha. So. I thought you rode with Ron, so I thought you were stuck here.
No, he was going to ride with me, and I was like, dude, I'm going to have to jet as soon as this is over. I got to go. I'd love to say, but I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, man. Good luck this weekend.
Maybe we'll call in a week or two and let you know how everything went.
Yes, definitely.
One of our valued listeners in Australia says, very exciting interview. Thank you.
Awesome. And I got some of my buddies from Australia, sprint car guys, are on their way over here. They get in next month. They raced with us in South Africa 2 years ago on our last trip.
All right.
So some sprint car guys are on their way over, a couple of them. So
are they going to be here in time to see you race on dirt?
I think the only time they're going to be in this area, they're going to be here for a month because they want to go to Knoxville and all that stuff. But the only time they're going to be here is during an asphalt race. So they were pretty bummed. They said, I'd really rather see you run on the dirt because of course, that's what they do over there. So, yeah.
Awesome.
But we'll see.
Jimmy, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot,
guys.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, Jimmy McCune. 5-time champion. 5-time. We should just call you 5-time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
5-time must-see Sprint Car Series champion, doing the dirt thing.
You
starting.
can find your way out.
Just keep going until you find a door. Joining us here in the studio. Racing Roundup for last weekend, Thursday, the Rick Ferkel Classic at Waynesfield Raceway Park, part of the Ohio Sprint Speedway.
Yep.
Tyler Courtney picking up the win in the 410s for the All-Stars, and Jamie Miller picking up 305 feature win. I think it was his third win of the season overall. Could be 305, something like that. Attica Raceway Park was off because of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Lima Land hosting the All-Star Circuit of Champions. And Danny Dietrich picked up his second win of the week. And Jeff Kaz picked up the win in the modifieds. Saturday night at Oakshade, Devin Shields finally got himself a Barney Oldfield feature win. Said that was his biggest win of his career so far.
Yeah.
So
kind of stunk up the show. He drove away.
Yeah. Chris Williams picked up the win in the Sportsman. William Bubba Kundick picked up the win in the Dominator Superstock A-Main. Ryan Oakley in the Compacts. Jaden Blykamp, rookie driver, looking pretty strong there. He picked up the win in the Superstock B-Main, and Eric Carr picked up the win in the Compact B-Main. Fremont was also off because of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Sandusky in action, though. Clayton Oliver picked up the win in the Renegades. Jaden Stanfield picked up the beginner stock win. Bobby Justice was the pure stock winner. I saw a post from Clayton Oliver that Mark Gainock, announcer over there at Sandusky, had shared, putting up some extra money or something. Because I guess people are getting not happy that he's winning all the time,
right?
And saying he's got like a touring series car or something. But he's putting some money up to anybody that can beat him.
Sure.
I don't remember how much it was, so I'll have to look that up. I just had stumbled across that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. All right. If he's got the money to put up for it, why not? Montpelier Motor Speedway was in action Saturday night. Bub Roberts picked up the win in the modifieds. Jordan Conover was the Superstock winner, former guest on the show. Dalton Smith was the winner of the Hornet feature, and Dustin Markham picked up the win in the Street Stocks. Oh, yeah, they had the Dirt Track Truck Series. The DTTS also in action, and Riley Hayter picked up the win in that action. Flat Rock, Kyle Crump won the ARCA CRA Super Series CRA Jegs All-Star Tour feature win. This is just way too many names for a series.
Yeah.
A little bit. Harold Fair Jr. picked up the win in the Outlaw Super Late Models. Cody Remick was the factory stock winner. It was his first ever feature win, so congratulations to Cody. In other Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions action, Saturday night, Portsmouth, that's where the finale for Ohio Sprint Speed Week was. Brent Marks picking up the win there. And Justin Peck earned the championship for Ohio Sprint Speed Week, who we had on about a month or two ago. Yeah. So congratulations to Justin Peck. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series action Friday night. Chris Madden and Jimmy Owens each picked up a win in the Mountain Moonshine Classic preliminaries at Smoky Mountain Speedway. Saturday night, Chris Madden was the big winner at Smoky Mountain. Picked up the $50,000 Mountain Moonshine Classic win. So congratulations to him. ARCA Menard Series Saturday at Berlin Raceway in the Zinser Smart Coat 200. Sammy Smith picking up the win there. Helio Castroneves picked up the win at Five Flag Speedway in the SRX Series. I just watched that the other day. I had recorded that. So
how was the race?
Cool. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't anything terribly exciting, but it was entertaining.
All right.
And they have their I forget what they call their yellow flags that they randomly throw just to kind of keep the competition tight. I mean, competition
caution.
Whatever. Yeah. They had a different. Alan Bestwick had a name for it that he called it, but not too bad. I mean, and Paul Tracy is out there rubbing, which was always fun to see. And Bill Elliott is looking much older than 66.
Really?
Well, he looks like he's 10 years older than you.
Ooh. That's scary.
But he still raced pretty good. So, NASCAR, only the Truck Series was in action over the weekend, Saturday night. Todd Gilliland picked up the win in Clean Harbors 150 at Knoxville Raceway. Buddy Kofoid finished 11th. Tyler Carpenter also running that. I didn't have a chance to check out where he finished, but we ended up following his hauler when we were on our way down to West Virginia on Sunday.
Okay.
I was like, hey, look at Nice Motorsports. Oh, I think that's, yeah. Another note, Summer Nationals action for Dirt Car UMP. Last Thursday night, I should say, at Davenport Speedway's Chris Simpson picking up the win. Friday night, Bobby Pierce picked up the win at Tri-City Speedway. Saturday was Chris Simpson at Fairbury Speedway. Sunday, Brian Shirley picked up the win at Sycamore Speedway. Then he backed that up with another win Tuesday night at Springfield Raceway with a deflating right rear tire. Doesn't matter if you have air in the tires or not.
Apparently.
And then last night, Wednesday night, at Adams County Speedway, it was Bobby Pierce picking up the win. Just got a little bit of racing news to go through here before we get to our how many and a chance to win a Big D's Pizza. Before we get to that, though, I'm going to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race every Saturday night, starting... I got to update my copy here. This is from before the season. This weekend is the Oakshade Attica Late Model Challenge Series and also Night of Wheels. So there will be a lot of bikes and
hopefully there's
trikes.
Awful lot of bikes.
Yeah. So if only new ones. They have to be new, but you can donate them to Oakshade Raceway if you want to get in on that. But or bring the kids,
drivers, fans.
Yeah.
Somebody driving.
Anybody
down
can
the
pitch
street.
in. A lot of kids go away. I think it's like the kids' favorite night of the year.
I'll bet.
It would be my favorite night of the year. But only kids can win those bikes. That's this Saturday night, Oakshade Raceway. Gates open at 4, racing at 7 p.m. And reminder about the hot dog race. We had a few more entries on that. Hey, we haven't talked about that in a little bit here. But the hot dog race coming up at Oakshade Raceway on July 2nd. And Dominator Superstock drivers at Oakshade Raceway are eligible for that. If you want to get in the drawing, we're going to have 2 competitors and 2 alternates for that event. So not everybody can do it. And we're going to do a random drawing among people that are interested in doing the hot dog race. And so far, I think we're almost up to about 10 drivers have tossed their hat into the ring there. So head on over to HammerdownRacingReport.com. There's a form on there. You have until Wednesday night, this next week. Wednesday night is probably when I'll take that form down.
Right.
So if you want to be eligible to win $100, and that's thanks to Nick Loy's Fix and Fab for putting that money in. If you want to be eligible, fill out that form. It's pretty easy. It's a real simple form. Just name, number, phone number, email. Boom. And we'll put you in the drawing. We're going to spin the Big D's Pizza Wheel, actually, to determine who the racers and alternates are for that. And there is an explanation of the race on our Facebook page at the pinned post. So if you have any questions about what the hot dog race is, go there.
The format's there and explains it all.
Basically.
Now, you said that it's super stock drivers. Did we say that any driver could race, but it had to be in a super stock car?
Correct.
Okay.
If somebody has access to a super stock, then that's fine.
So Rusty Schlenk could.
Greg Dietrich. He's one that threw his hat in there. So, and our mystery guest is actually calling us on the phone. Yeah.
Is that a 337 phone number?
No, I don't know because it just has a name because I have it programmed in.
Oh.
Pam Hendricks. How are you? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I am wonderful.
We wouldn't miss it.
It's Pam Hendricks from Oakshade Raceway. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I called to apologize for the fact we had Saturday night.
Your phone's breaking up.
And there's, I don't know.
There you
That's
go.
because I got T-Mobile.
I think we understand that one.
Can you still hear me? Is it still breaking up?
No, you're good right there. Just don't move.
Anyway, I called to apologize for the type of racetrack we had Saturday night. It was unexcusable, and I'm not going to make any excuses. It happened. So we're going to trying to do everything we can to never, ever, ever have something like that again. Ever.
And that's something I mean, there's been nights where it's a little dusty, but that was, and it wasn't just Oakshade that had that issue.
No, there were a lot
Land.
of tracks that had those problems. I think the weatherman has been hating racing lately.
Yeah, but the only ones I worry about is Oakshade. Did I lose you?
Nope, we're here.
Nope, we're here.
Okay.
So this weekend, what can we expect for track conditions?
But
now we lost her.
kind of out of our hands Saturday, but did what we could do.
Okay, well, I heard about a third of what you just said. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're good for...
We are good for Saturday.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know it because we don't like to tell, but they'll see Saturday. They're going to have to bear with us. I got new people in the back. Chrissy will not be there. So we're going to go on and hope everybody works with us, that if we don't get the lineups down or correct or to it, but we're going to try all we can do to do it. So I got new people back there to do it.
Well, and I'll be spectating again, Pam, so if there's anything I can do to help, just feel free to ask.
All right. Well, it's hard for me to ask when I'm up there and I don't know what all's going on. So if you see they're struggling or think they need help, ask them if they need that help.
Okay.
They might not know everything going on, and they have helped, but now they're on their own.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a rookie there, so.
Correct. Correct. So, okay.
Sounds good.
Just thought I'd call in to make my apologies for all of us, and hope it never, ever happens again in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And Pam, let Chrissy know that there's a lot of people praying for her.
Absolutely.
I will. I thank you. And okay.
All right, girl.
She needs it. She needs it. All right.
All right, Pam.
Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday.
Bye.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Here you go, Pam Hendricks, promoter over at Oakshade Raceway. Little scary dusty out there, but a lot of tracks had that problem last weekend.
And it didn't seem so bad. No, I was sitting in the grandstands, but it didn't seem so bad once the sun went down.
No, yeah. Once after intermission, things were pretty good there. But yeah, the sun going down with that was a little.
Yeah, turns 3 and 4. the rest of the track, as the sun's going down, the grandstands shelter it. But the sun really hits turns 3 and 4, and it made that dust issue a little worse.
It's usually about time my heat race is going out there. I'm always hoping that either we go out early, it's cloudy, or it's after the sun goes down. But never seems to work out. Don't forget to call Romula Race Cars, 734-856-7223. Race Cars, parts, safety equipment, service, everything a racer needs, including. You still have tires left?
I'm waiting for my next shipment of Towel City dirt tires.
Okay. So you've gone through.
I have exhausted my initial order.
Any idea when you'll get the next? Or do you have to go pick them up?
No, they'll be shipped in. I'm thinking it'll be this week.
Okay.
This coming week.
There you go. So can people put in their orders now and reserve?
I can bump my order if somebody wants to order 50 or 60 tires. I can.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll work with them.
734-856-7223. Do they get a discount if they buy in bulk?
Yeah, I can go from 105 to 104.
That's a discount. All right. That works.
Scott, I'm not making much money on those tires, and I do it because I love the super stock class, and
got to keep the cars racing.
That's it.
Oops, that didn't work. It kind of worked. A little bit of racing news. 2 weeks ago, Fox hosted their final NASCAR race of the season before handing the remaining portion of the coverage over to NBC for the Cup Series. However, Clint Boyer was not in attendance for the race at Sonoma Raceway in California. And I noticed that. I was watching. I was like, I don't hear Clint talking. Well, this is weird, not hearing Clint. And they said that they addressed his absence, stating that Boyer was taking care of a personal issue. And apparently that involved a highway accident near Osage Beach, Missouri. The incident took place just before 9 p.m. on Sunday, June 5th. Earlier that day, the 43-year-old Boyer was in East St. Louis working the broadcast booth with the NASCAR race at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Lake Ozark Police Department report noted that Boyer was driving west on US 54 while approaching Missouri 242. He struck a woman who was walking on the ramp. Per the police report, Boyer slammed the brakes as soon as the incident occurred. He then called for help and pointed emergency workers in the direction of the woman. When they arrived, the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. She has since been identified as Mary Jane Simmons of Camdenton, Missouri. Boyer's vehicle took heavy damage to the windshield directly in front of the driver's seat. He gave a roadside BAC test, which turned back results of .00. The woman's body was found next to a crystalline substance. It's suspected of methamphetamine, per the police report. The report also noted the woman was likely under the influence of drugs.
That's a shame. That can be devastating to someone.
Yeah. So hopefully Clint will be back in the booth next year. Dale Earnhardt Sr. used nitrous to qualify for his first Cup Series race back in 1975.
Really?
Yeah. Just came out. Dale Jr. had someone on his podcast this week, was talking about that. And
inside knowledge?
Yeah. Apparently, he back in 1975, he was with an underfunded team at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The nitrous was quickly removed after qualifying, and Dale ended up finishing 22nd in the race with the nitrous removed. So, apparently, there was a little more. Cheating seemed to be a little easier to do back then. I don't think you could get away with that these days.
Probably not. Yeah. But with all the engineers in NASCAR, you just never know.
Yeah. Sad news, Bruton Smith, founder of Speedway Motorsports that operate half of the tracks on the NASCAR schedule, passed away yesterday, at the age of 95. I didn't realize he was that old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And finally, Dale Jr. is teasing an entry into the North Wilkesboro comeback after testing one of his junior motorsports late models. After the test, he stated that he had intentions of signing up and running the Cars Tour race, which there are two sets of Cars Tour events on the schedule at the track this year that they're going to run on the asphalt, August 19th and 20th with the Pro late models, and August 30th and 31st with the late model stocks. Junior Motorsports late models competes in the late model stock division, so it most likely would be during that final weekend in August. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got to believe it's hard for him just to spectate.
Probably. Well, that's why he gets in the Xfinity
He probably gets
car
paid
every
quite
once in a while.
nicely for his time in the booth. But, yeah.
But that would be pretty. I mean, that'd be a big treat for the fans there too.
Oh yeah.
Bring even more attention back to North Wilkesboro as they try and resurrect the track, and that's going to be on the old asphalt surface as well. So last week's how many late models were going to be at Oakshade on Saturday for the birthday race? Not the birthday race, the Barney Oldfield. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And the actual number was 33.
Right.
I picked 33.
Did you?
I did. You picked 34. Oh. If you were there, you would have won. I mean, if you were there with your late model.
I was.
Yeah. So our listener winner was J.D. Smith. He picked 38, was the closest.
Really?
Everybody else
Everybody was
high.
pretty optimistic.
I guess so, yes. So J.D. Smith will get himself a free Big D's pizza. Just get with Dean Henry or myself, and we'll point you in the right direction to get that. You have 30 days to claim your pizza. You want a chance to win next week? Here you go. How many GLSS, Great Lakes Super Sprints, are going to be at Fremont on Saturday? They're going to be part of the show along with the 410s and 305s. The 360 GLSS Sprints will be there as well. And I was going to do some research and see how many cars they've had at previous races, but I was too busy working on my car today. I didn't have a chance, so I have no idea. Cannot give any indication of how many.
Well, I didn't do any homework, and I wasn't working on my own car today.
Well, I'm sorry.
Because I still don't have an engine, Scott.
Well, you need to work on that.
I am.
So I have to pick first, right?
Yes, sir.
If you'd like a chance to win Big D's Pizza.
Quit looking at the screen, Scott.
If you'd like to enter a chance to win a Big D's Pizza, put your guess in. Just simply enter a number into the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And you can do that up until 4 o'clock on Saturday. And if we have a tie, we'll spin the Big D's Pizza wheel to break that tie and determine who wins that pizza. So all the guesses so far have been in the 20s. Oh, there's one at 30. I don't know. I'm going to go with 25. I'm going to go right in the middle there. 25. What you got, Ron?
Should have made you guess before. Yeah. 25. I'm going 26, Scott.
26, all right. So it'll be an over-under.
That's it.
So, again, you have until 4 o'clock if you're listening to us on an Apple Podcast or some other streaming platform that isn't live. You can still get into the deal. Just find our Facebook Live or YouTube Live and enter your guess in the comments before 4 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. That's when the gates open at Fremont. We have Ryan Weekman and your weekend weather pit stop coming up. First, your Big D's Pizza menu of racing action this weekend. Of course, tomorrow night, Lima Land. Tomorrow night being Friday, June 24th, Lima Land Motorsports Park in action with the second annual tribute to Mr. Excitement, Tim Allison, featuring the NRA Sprint Invaders, UMP Modifieds, Thunderstocks. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30. Adult general admission's $12. Attica Raceway Park also in action after being off last week with the Burns Electric Metal Master Fabrication Night, featuring the Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 sprints, $4,000 to win. The Attica Fremont Championship Series 305s, and the Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series. Gates open at 5 o'clock, racing 7:45, general admissions $18 there at Attica. Saturday night, got quite a few races here. Oakshade Raceway back in action with the Oakshade Attica Late Model Challenge Series. That's night 2 of the weekend for them. Plus, it's the night of wheels, as we mentioned earlier. Your chance to win some bikes for the kids. No charge to enter that. You just they'll have cans tickets grouped by ages so that you win an age appropriate bike. Adults, no, you don't get a bike. I'm sorry. Go buy one if you want to get a bike. But this is for the kids. So let's keep it fun for the kids. And again, if you have a bike you'd like to donate, bring it with you. I'm sure they'll take that and add that to the pot there. Just try and get to Oakshade early if you do. Late models, Sportsman, Dominator, Superstocks, and the Compacts all in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. Adult general admission $14 at Oakshade. Fremont Speedway back in action after being off last week. It's Vision Quest night with the Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 sprints, the Great Lakes Super Sprint 360s, and the 305s. And, of course, you can check out Jimmy McCune making his triumphant return back to dirt car racing in a 410 at Fremont on Saturday. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. And general admission is $15 for adults. And prior to the night's racing, the Fremont Speedway Hall of Fame induction ceremonies will be taking place. So that'd be pretty cool. Get there early for that. Sandusky Speedway, modifieds, pure stocks, renegades, beginner stocks, all in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7, adult general admission $12. Flat Rock Speedway, it's Corrigan Race Fuels 100 with street stocks. The MCR Dwarf cars, they'll be running the Steve Martin Memorial and a 250-lap Enduro. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 7, adult general admission $15 for that. At Montpelier Motor Speedway, it's Thunder Night number 1, featuring the Midwest Thunder Midgets, the UMP Modified, Super Stocks, and the Hornets. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:22, general admission $12. And finally, Eldora Speedway back in action with the Summertime Showdown, featuring the NRA 360 Sprints, UMP Modifieds, Eldora Stocks, and gates will open at 5, racing at 7:30, general admission $19 there. Other series action, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars will be at Huset Speedway in South Dakota for the High Bank Nationals tonight through Saturday. The World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models will be at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 in Missouri, Friday and Saturday nights. That's part of the UMP Summer Nationals, too. It's a head-to-head deal.
Right.
Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, Lernerville Speedway, tonight through Saturday for the 16th Annual Firecracker 100. SRX Series back in action with their second race of the season, Saturday night at South Boston Speedway in Virginia. That'll be on CBS at 8 p.m. ARCA Menards Series in action for the Menards 250 at Elko Speedway in Minnesota, Saturday night at 8:30 on MAV TV. Cup Series back in action with the Ally 400 at Nashville Super Speedway on Sunday, June 26th at 5 p.m. That race will be on NBC. The Xfinity Series will be racing the Tennessee Lottery 250 from Nashville Super Speedway. That'll be Saturday at 3:30 on USA Network. And the Truck Series will be back in action tomorrow night for the Rackley Roofing 200 at Nashville Super Speedway. You can catch that race at 8 o'clock on FS1. And Summer Nationals dates for the next week. Spoon River Speedway tonight. Tomorrow night, as we mentioned, they'll be at Federated Auto Parts Raceway along with the World of Outlaws for Firecracker Face-Off. They're calling that at I-55. Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Then they're off to Red Hill Raceway in Illinois on Tuesday, June 28th. Wednesday, June 29th, Benton Speedway in Missouri and Fayette County Speedway, Illinois, next Thursday night, June 30th. So, lots of racing.
Plenty of racing.
Lots of racing. Let's check out that weekend weather pit stop so we can find out what's going on here with the weather for this weekend. Spoiler alert, I think it's not going to rain.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm WTOL 11 meteorologist Ryan Weekman, in store for some great weather for races, whether it's on Friday or Saturday. Let's start you off Friday at Limaland and Attica. Temperatures by race time probably going to be in the upper 80s, eventually dropping back down somewhere down into the 70s by late into the evening. But clear skies, just picture perfect. Should be just fine at both places. Saturday, let's take you to Oakshade, Fremont, Sandusky, Flat Rock, Montpelier, Eldora, all looking great for their evening races. Temperatures will be a touch hotter. It'll be muggier. I'm thinking highs by the afternoon are going to reach the mid-90s. So race time temperatures, probably somewhere around 90 degrees or the upper 80s. Again, it will be muggier Saturday compared to Friday, but both should be dry and sunny. Next chance for a few scattered showers comes in during the late afternoon there on Sunday. I'm WTOL 11 meteorologist Ryan Weekman with your latest pit stop weather forecast.
There he goes. I like the way he just kind of nonchalantly said, mid-90s. It'll be about 90 at race time on Saturday. No big deal.
Climb in a race car, Ryan.
It'll be a little uncomfortable for the racers and slightly uncomfortable for the fans. Not too bad, I don't think. Hopefully there'll be a breeze.
We need to resurrect a race where we bring some of the media celebrities in.
Go for it.
Not in your car, right?
No, not this year. Maybe next year. That's a lot to put together, but Yeah. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer and our contributors Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, and Bob Stazak. Next week on the show, we're going to try and have the winner of the GLSS race at Fremont this weekend. I was talking to Les Hanna about that, so he was hoping that I guess he's going to be at Fremont this weekend. He wanted one of us to be there and do an interview in person. I'm like, well, kind of busy on Saturday nights, tough, unfortunately, so can't get there all the time. Can only
wonder
do
if Brian Rollman will be there.
Maybe.
Non-wing sprint.
What's that?
Non-wing sprint.
Is it the non-wing sprints for the GLSS?
I believe it.
Okay. Well, then maybe he will be there. No Hammer Down hotline this week. If you want to call and leave a message, be on the show for pretty much any reason. As long as it's racing related, give us a call, 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. No calls this week, just spam calls, so blow on by that. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, on demand, whenever you want. I know Perry Cox, he tells me he listens while he's out working the fields Friday mornings. He'll pop it into Apple Podcasts there and listen to us, so appreciate that. You can listen to Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcasting platform is. Check us out at HammerdownRacingReport.com for our store, our show, ad information if you want to become a sponsor, because we do this on the cheap. We can deliver a very targeted audience and not much cost to you, because we're not here to make money. We're just doing this because we like it. Don't forget, for the hot dog race for the Dominator Superstock drivers, make sure to fill out that form at HammerdownRacingReport.com if you want to be eligible to win that $100 from Nick Loy's Fix and Fab. Again, next week on the show, we'll be drawing the 2 competitors and 2 alternates for that event coming up on July 2nd, which ought to be highly entertaining, I think. I'm looking forward to it.
Spoiler alert, I won't be one of them. You?
Well, I got to run it, but I'd be willing to give up my car if you...
Oh, no.
Yeah. For you, if you want to do it, you sure?
I'm sorry, it would just take me way too long to get in and out of the car, dude.
Okay. Fine.
I can buckle up. I can do all of those things real quickly, but in and out is getting to be a problem.
Make sure to rate and review us. Share us with your friends. Thanks again to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dominator Race Products, and Hunters Barber Studio and Salon. Thanks again to our guest, Jimmy McCune, for coming in tonight. Great talk with him tonight. It was pretty cool.
I think it was a great show, Scott. Give us a call on the Hammer Down hotline. Let us know what you thought of tonight's show.
And if you didn't like it, that's fine too. Let us know.
Yeah, well.
We appreciate it. So again, we'll be back live next week, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, 7 o'clock Thursday night, June 30th. Till then, get out, support your local racetrack. We're out.
And they all promise to be better than they were last week.
They all do, yes. See you next week.
See you, folks.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.